do we need some time to allow some clarity? Do we need to give more clarity by doing something? Or do we need to eliminate the temptation by removing something?
If you find yourself with a camera in your hand and want to learn how to use it, please subscribe to this channel, like the videos, comment below.
Hey Photos family, today we are talking about the uncomfortable discussion topic in a hero's journey that is temptation. Now, temptation, the reason I chose to talk about temptation as different and apart from challenge is this reason. Challenge is a struggle outside of us. And I'm defining it in that way because it presses on our, an old word here, ardor. Let's say some might call it hard-headedness of some individuals of pushing through something. I just will not let this break me down. I am pushing through. I'm going to get this done. That is the courage, the character of not giving up, of pushing through something. And that is a challenge outside of us. Temptation is something that very well comes from outside of us, but pushes on a weakness of ours within us. And in a challenge where we're pushing through it, it's a weakness because of usage. Does that make sense there? To think of it not as a weakness, but a tiredness. So the challenge typically pushes on a stronger part of us that even when we're tired, that weakness of being exerted is not a weakness that we will give up on if we have that character, that strength to keep pushing and go forward and move on. Temptation pushes on a weak part of us that I really just do want to get way far ahead with no effort. And so in that respect, you could say it's a lack of character on our part. That temptation is to continue to give into that weakness of character, perhaps moral weakness. But we've been talking about many different topics, but some specific movies about this. We chose some very big movie box office hits, one of them being Lord of the Rings. Temptations of Frodo in that movie series, Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers, and The Return of the King. Those three videos specifically, time and time again, is a temptation for Frodo to give up the ring and be done with that he doesn't have to deal with the challenge anymore. But the challenge he has, which is wearing him down, and just by the time the end of the trilogy is over, you see the makeup change on Frodo. He's not that happy-go-lucky character anymore. And then Elijah Wood, who played Frodo in those series, his character, his demeanor has changed. He's not that same happy-go-lucky Frodo anymore. There's a lot of grief and burden on him. All of the picturing and the detail of character, the helpers of props and the helper of makeup and the way that it was lit, and yes, he was back in the Shire and things are good and calm and peaceful again. The temptations he faced were horrific, and it was his burden, it was his duty to see that that ring was cast into the fires of Mordor, right? Let me know in the comments down below if I've got that right or if I'm completely off. But you see the point. The point is his temptations were pushing on something that wasn't just the weakness from outside of him because he was tired. It was pushing on a weakness within him of I don't want this ring anymore, but I've failed the temptations not to put it on. But I know that when I do put it on, what was not seen is now seen in the portrayal of the movie producers and the rest in visual effects. So that difference between challenges and temptations, I hope, is clear. How do we apply those differences in our photographs? Temptations, if this is the time of your hero's journey that your photograph is taking place for your subject, then maybe that is in other films a use of emotion. The temptation is to Star Wars, Anakin Skywalker, give in to the anger and the bitterness and the rage. Give in to that emotion that to the Jedi is not right. Give in to the fear. Give into the other things. And in a lot of ways, we would say, yes, that needs to be pushed against. I'm not making a case that it should be given into. Some battles have to be fought with the fortitude or the courage in us to say, I can't control that wrong, that evil. I'm not going to waste energy on trying to control it. I will control myself and come out stronger in the end. And so the process we are going through and learning from in our photography, we will not give in to the temptation of giving up on this photograph. We will push this photograph through to completion, and we will take a few moments to step back and look and see if something needs to be removed from distraction or something needs to be added for clarity. It's incredible how some of the temptations in the films are overcome by taking a step back and allowing those questions to be answered. Perhaps the temptation for us in our photographs is that very question. Do we need some time to allow some clarity? Do we need to give more clarity by doing something? Or do we need to eliminate the temptation by removing something? Is that temptation not even visible? Is it something that we need to affect or allow change to come into us for some reason, for some part, or getting past this struggle so that we can actually move into the real challenge? And we're going to be talking about those things in the next few videos. So let us know down in the comments below. What are your temptations in photography? Are you struggling with something that you need somebody to come alongside and a helper or a mentor? Is there a struggle that you're having that you want your photography to look like historical photographers or artists' work? How do they affect that? How do you work that out in technique in your photography? Let us know. We would love to help you, and we would love to be able to create content for you to help you narrow those things down and that you can master that yourself. Not to take away your win for that, but we can give you some helps and tips along the way as well. Thank you so much for your comments, your thumbs up. If you're not yet a subscriber, we would love to add you to our Photos family. Just do so by clicking on the subscribe button. Thank you. God bless.